Alright, so I'm gonna duck under this spider web here and go and take some quick pictures in a property that I got some permission to photograph. It's an old farm. I don't know really who it has belonged to, but I know it belongs to a local family. It's in an LLC as of right now. When the LLC is it's in the name of the uncle who owned it. And it is absolutely gorgeous in here. There's part of an old fence there. There is what likely was the house, outbuilding, the barn structure, which is my favorite. And then there's that there. The tree dropped a leaf. I don't know anything about the local family or how long they were here. I really don't know anything about them. Haven't been able to get much. What I can verify is they've been here over 100 years. It's part of the front of the house, looks like. Many stories this was. Probably just a single story, and that may have been an adjoining wall. Good night. If only the remains could tell us the story. There's some more acreage down there. Altogether, what one of the members of the LLC was telling me was that there's about 40 acres altogether here. He's told me that he's deer hunted on the property, and at one point, see, there's a slaughterhouse over there that a hog had gotten loose from the slaughterhouse, and they had called him advising him to be on the lookout for it. Well, he did. And he had found it and shot it with his bow about 6 months after the fact. That hog had been living on these 40 acres for several months. There's a smaller outbuilding there. I would love to get closer, but I don't think I can. At least there's too much in the way. Some rock wall. And concrete block. There was a big tree that fell over. I'm wondering what this concrete wall was. May have been the yard or maybe a garden. The one thing I have to be careful of is wells, covered wells that have been covered over with a piece of sheet metal, then eventually covered up with soil. Those can be fatal if you're not careful. I should be out here with a metal detector looking for those. Out of all the structures, that one looks to be the most sound. It appears to be still be intact. Man. And there's a smaller structure right there. I'm wondering what that was. Alright. Let's go to the barn. That is my real goal, is to get some photographs of this barn. More fences. I would love still yet to see what this place would look like back when everything was nice and neat, before it was abandoned. Now it's an irrigation well, I think. Cattle trough. Since we can poke our heads in here, let's do so. I wonder what might be inside. Probably nothing, but you never know. Part of the fun of doing some rural exploration, I can never say that word, rural, whatever, farming exploration, is wondering what the purposes of each individual building may have been. Ooh, almost walked right into that cobweb. That's not a good one. I'm guessing, because I think this would, judging by the foundation, this may have been a later construction. I'm thinking this may have been an automobile garage, perhaps. Some place to store the automobile, or the wagon, perhaps. And then that may have been a tool shed, maybe. I like this mode better. Oh, barn. This probably would have been a tractor shed. Yeah, that's what I'm speculating this was. Tractor shed. That is an awesome tree. Well, I might be incorrect about it being a tractor shed. Has an attic of sorts. It's had a, well, it has angle iron here on the foundation, which gives it a kind of a drop floor that I think maybe goes about a foot down. And it's covered over by wood. You know, this may have actually been may have been a scale, a weigh scale for weighing animals and loads of food and things like that. It's hard to say at this point anyway, without being able to get under there. Yeah, I'm not sticking my phone down under there either. Look at that web. That's a beautiful one. Big and beautiful. Something's been eating away at that for a while. Good night. Oh. Let's see if I can get a light on. I'm definitely not going inside. There's an old tire. That's a couple old tires. More old sheeting. Maybe it might have been a chicken house. Okay. Let's get over to the barn. These weeds are up to my chest. That barn. It's my favorite piece. That was actually when I first started looking around here on GPS images. That was the first thing that I had managed to identify. It's the barn. And that kind of looks like a barn. So I started poking around, asking over there at the slaughterhouse if they knew anything. And they said, yeah, it was an old farm years ago. And they gave me contact information for one of the fellas in the LLC. I sincerely wish that I could be walking inside the barn before it had collapsed. If there's something that I've grown to love about living out in the Ozarks, it's barns. They're freaking everywhere. Everyone has them. Do you not have a barn? That's okay. You'll get one soon enough. Wow. That angle is just way cool right now. Because of the fact that there was definitely some kind of door here, lending on the fact that there is no concrete. I'm guessing that this was probably where the wagons or tractors were kept. You can see that tall foundation there. I wonder if that was a house. A secondary house, maybe a bunkhouse. I don't know if I can get down to it. Remnants of the door right there and there. Yeah, spider web. Dang it, everywhere. May not be able to see the barn as it was, but you can almost get a feel for how it once was. And there's a cobweb right in front of my lens. Old stalls, horses. Horse stall on the left. At least it's what it may have been. I'm in the barn. Little chest in there. You can see the windows and sides there. I like those. That's looking up out into the sky where once was a roof. That's old manure. So this actually may have been a chicken run or something. It's like it's compacted. I've seen compacted manure like that when my family raised chickens back in New Mexico. You can almost tell by how the wood is, because it's real worn on the outside, as if birds have been jumping up and down on it for a long time. This loading chute is what I think this was. They would run the cattle or whatever livestock were being taken. They'd run them up here into a chute, into a waiting trailer. That may be a more modern thing, having to do with loading them up onto trucks. But they may have done that as well in years past. I'm not certain, honestly. I grew up on a farm, but I did not grow up knowing the old ways. And honestly, I wish I had. So I got a lot to learn. That's where we just were, in that building right there. Looks like they're planting something back here. I don't know. those are carrots. I really don't know. I don't know what those things look like. That is a tree stand up there. So, I don't think I'll be going any farther. There's one thing I love. It's sunset shots. I would love to have an old tractor that I could run through here with a brush hog at the back of it, clean up a lot of this brush, make it to where you can walk about and explore the property, because 40 acres, that's a fair bit of land. I mean, I'm used to the desert Southwest where you have, 3,000 acres of state land you can just drive around in, camp in, party in, or, do whatever you want. And it's a bit of a luxury out here because most land is private. There's nothing wrong with that. If anything, it keeps things nice and neat. Yeah, I believe this must have been a house. Maybe. Hard to tell anymore. Hard to tell anymore. Had electric lights. No, that may have been another chicken roost. Or something to that effect. It's getting towards sunset, so I have to get packing. Unfortunately, I have to get packing. Personally, I would love to explore more of this. I'm not 100% certain that I can get on here much more. It's been a couple months since I received the permission slip to do so. I'd really like to see what's up over there. Nothing, probably, but just appears to be a little trail that goes off into the woods. And I want to say the land becomes a bit of a hill right there. So it would be really cool to just see what else might be there. Like I say, probably nothing, no structures, but it would be neat to see what nature has done to reclaim this land. I don't know why I think so. It seems so hazy when I use this reverse camera. Anyway, time to head back to the car. purple indicates private property. You'll see purple paint sometimes on fence posts or trees, other such things. That's usually what delineates private property. Ugh, ran into that cobweb, damn it.